Plaintiff, Tina Turner, went to high school with the defendant, and years later she rented a house to him despite the fact that he had a history of drug and alcohol abuse. Tina claims the defendant had a domestic dispute while living in her rental property, and she's suing him for rent and late fees. Defendant Daniel Maple admits that he had drug and alcohol issues, but insists he's been in recovery for almost a year. Daniel's countersuing because he claims while living in the home, his property was damaged as a result of a flooding issue.
Start with you.
Well, we went to high school together, lost touch after high school. He heard that I had a house for rent through some mutual friends. So we had some discussions. I was a little concerned about his past. I heard that there was some drug and alcohol issues. I did confront him with that, and he was truthful and honest from what I had researched and looked online. So I rented the place to him.
What was the agreement?
I have the rental contract that he was going to pay $600 a month on the first with a $50 late fee. Later, August of 2017, that rent went up to $650, still the $50 late fee. And
all right, you have that?
I do, sir.
How was he as a tenant?
He was very good. He kept letting me know.
See it, please.
We were in contact. He was letting me know, if there was an issue or concern, which we did have quite a few.
Like what?
Well, supposedly, I'd heard that he got into a domestic dispute while living there.
Okay.
I was unaware of that at first. He was losing several job after job, telling me that I'm trying to get things together,
and therefore not paying you.
Correct, not paying rent. I kept trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's trying to get things together. He's, going to these classes, trying to better himself.
Classes for?
I believe a domestic dispute.
Okay.
That happened at my property.
Okay.
I felt bad for the guy. I mean, he was truthful and honest when he first moved in, and I thought he could, pull back out of this too. He still owes me the money.
You, sir.
I do have some previous drug and alcohol issues.
You don't anymore?
No.
How long have you been clean in recovery?
Yeah, I've been in recovery for about almost a year. Just unemployment due to the weather.
Due to the weather?
Due to the weather. I was an independent contractor for underground utilities. So Tina's been nothing but patient with me over the past year, especially with the classes and stuff like that. She's been nothing but good to me.
Well, I'd heard that he got into a domestic dispute while living there.
Okay.
I was unaware of that at first. He was losing several job after job, telling me that I'm trying to get things together,
and therefore not paying you.
Defendant Daniel Maple is being sued by his former friend, who claims she rented a house to him despite the fact that he had a history of drug and alcohol abuse.
Your payment of rent was problematic for several years?
No, just over the past year, really. Over the past year, I went through a breakup, and I kind of spent a little more time in the bar than that need be, She was very patient with me. She did nothing,
Okay.
I got behind and was trying to catch up, and she had been more than patient with me about
that. Okay, so you agree you owe her?
Yes, sir, I agree.
All right. And it sounds like you're saying an inability to pay at this point. Is this the amount that you owe?
Oh,
you
yes,
believe?
sir.
All right, honest guy, sounds like you really are in recovery. A lot of folks come in and they lie, they deceive, they try not to pay. All of those are things that are at the very opposite of what they teach in recovery. They teach, one, honesty, because deception is what you've practiced all during your addiction. So total honesty and trying to repair those people that you've hurt and trying to pay off the debts that you have because you recognize and you admit the wrong you've done to others. So you want to do right by people. And if you can, you go back and repay those people that you've hurt or done wrong or caused financial damage to. So many so-called recovering addicts come in and they say and do the opposite. You're one that sounds like you're adhering to what you're learning and what you've been taught in NA, and I applaud you for that. A lot of people don't. So give him a hand. All right, so he agrees, ma'am. I guess you just want him to speed the process up, and we'll have to do that. Your counterclaim for $500 is for what, sir?
Personal property damage.
How so?
For the first roughly 5 years I lived there, there was an issue with a landowner behind us that every time it rained, it massively flooded my garage and basement. So
5 years?
Yes, for 5 years. I have these pictures and video. There's a video.
Let's see it.
For 5 years straight, every time it rained, I mean, this would come through my garage and in my basement, damaging personal products. I couldn't use my garage. I couldn't use. I mean, it's flooding my.
I don't see anything. What am I missing? What was I supposed to see?
There was massive flooding. I mean, here, look, these pictures are.
Play it again, y'all.
You might have. Like, seriously, I mean, do you not see the current there?
I see the water.
Yeah, that's water rushing. It's all, actually, that's all mud.
I didn't see it moving. I see it moving.
Yeah, that's actually.
I thought it was just a beige driveway.
Well, no.
Down driveway.
So see,
Yeah.
the
And when you've mentioned it to her over the last 5 years, what has she said?
they went through court over it.
Who went through court?
Her
with
and
the
the
neighbor?
her and the landowner
But when you
behind us.
mention it to her, you're a
Yes.
landlord.
Oh, yes.
What has she said? That's for 5 years it's
She said she
occurred.
was getting stuff fixed, the garage, stuff like that. And actually, the landowner behind us excavated it, and that's why it was hard to see because it was mud there. It used to be just water. Once he excavated it, it was nothing but solid mud. I mean,
Her response to you was she'll repair it.
they were going through a court process for it. Yes, she was supposed to repair it.
Court process with the with the person that was causing it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Do you know if that was completed?
I do believe so, and ain't nothing been fixed.
Ma'am, let me hear from you on this.
That is correct. We were going through court proceedings. I did not win as much as I thought that I would win. So everything has not been fixed yet. However, he did know when he moved in that the basement was only for storage and the garage was only for storage. So he knew that it was damp. A little different than that situation because that happened during the course of the time that he lived there. He could have brought this up
You told
when I
him
was going to
when he
court.
moved in. You say for 5 straight years, every time it rains,
Watch out.
Yeah, watch out. Get a boat.
Get a boat. Well, I mean,
Ma'am?
so
You told him that?
So this picture right
You
here.
told him that it would be damaged?
I told him, don't put your stuff in the basement. It's only for
So why should I?
the washer and dryer, and
wants
put
the
your
laundry
stuff
in
out. I mean,
And you said
did I
don't
know
put
that
it in the
was gonna be
garage because what? You said that was only for what?
only for storage.
Not cars?
You could fit your car in there originally, but he changed it,
I
so
can still
you
fit my
can't
car in
fit the
there
car
today.
in there now.
Defendant Daniel Maple is being sued by his former friend, who claims she rented a house to him despite the fact that he had a history of drug and alcohol abuse.
You're saying you warned him that it would that he should not put his things in there, but that wasn't part of the lease agreement, was it? Those conditions.
No, that arises
Okay, but yet
after
he had to
gained-
pay. He had to pay for the use of those parts of the rental property,
Yep.
right?
Correct.
He had to pay for something he couldn't use extensively, and he paid full price unless you deducted some of it.
He didn't tell me that it was damaging his property.
No, you knew it would be because you said you warned him and you told him not to put things in there. So now you're going to go back to he didn't tell you. No, you knew. Your claim is granted for the personal property, $500. She knew, and yet she says you were to tell her. With the rent, you agree that you owe, and glad to hear you are so honest with your debts now and other things. $1,400 is your judgment. $500 is yours for your property damage. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's been great. Sorry that it turned out this way. Unfortunately, it had to be this way, but we'll go our separate ways.
I totally understand. I appreciate your patience with me over the past few years. I really do. Thank you very much. I'm sorry it came to this.